am Pramod Kumar. Today we will study English, Class 12, CBSE. Book name is Flamingo. Our poem is Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. I will request you to jot down my website address. You can visit my website and get more details about the chapter. After some time we will rub it off. Okay. Pablo Neruda was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature. The poet is a pacifist. Pacifist means a person who doesn't believe in war as a means of settling disputes. And this poem is a peace poem, or you can say anti-war poem. Right? The poet is a pacifist. This is a peace poem or anti-war poem. In this poem, the poet talks about the necessity of quiet introspection and calm reflection, through which we can create a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings, and we can bring universal brotherhood. So, what are the things the poet recommends, talks about? The poet talks about calm reflection. What do we mean by reflection? Careful thinking about something. When he talks about quiet introspection, what is introspection? Serious and deep thinking about our own actions, thoughts, beliefs. Right? He says calm reflection and quiet introspection can create a feeling of mutual understanding among ourselves, thereby bringing universal brotherhood. Then the poet starts, now we will count to 12. So what is that 12? 12 is only symbolic. 12 months in a year, 12 hours on our clock, and 12 zodiac signs. It is only symbolic. Says, now we will count to 12. 12 months in a year, 12 hours on our clock, and 12 zodiac signs. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. By saying this, what does the poet signify? The poet is of the view that continuous rush, continuous activity has caused lot of misery for the mankind. And he says, for once, let us not speak in any language. Means, let us be silent. Let us stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. The poet means to say that let us be totally silent for a while. Let us be totally still and not move our arms. He feels that whenever mankind has raised their arms, it has been for waging wars, not for peace. So he recommends to be still for a few moments. Next he says it would be an exotic moment. Exotic, he uses the word exotic. The dictionary meaning of exotic is having a strong, strange beauty. Exotic A strange beauty, not ordinary, which we see every day, no, exotic. It would be exotic moment without rush, without engines. He said even all the engines of all the factories should stop for a while. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Why does he say sudden strangeness? Because we are not used to that strangeness. What is that strangeness? Calm, quiet, still. So we are not used to this. So when we get into this, we will experience sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. Fishermen will not cause any damage to the whales because they will be still. And the man gathering salt would look at his hard hands. People who do the work at the salt manufacturing units, their hands and feet become very bad due to continuous working in salt. So he says that when people become silent, still for a few moments, fishermen in the cold sea will not harm whales. And the man gathering salt, who works for salt factory, salt production, would look at his hurt hands. He will have some time to look at his injured hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars. What does he mean by green wars? Green wars means war against environment, which destroys our environment. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, and victory with no survivors. See, even if somebody scores victory, but there are no survivors, it is of no use. That victory of no use. Later on he says, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shed doing nothing. People will get together and they will be wearing clean clothes and walk about along with each other silently without doing anything. Then he says, what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. The poet has recommended to be quiet and still, silent and physically still. He says, I should not be mistaken, confused with the total inactivity. Poet says, activity is life, inactivity is death. He further says, I don't want any truck with death. Here truck means association. The poet doesn't want to be associated with death or inactivity. He is only recommending that we must take some respite, be calm and quiet and still for a few moments, indulge into calm reflection and quiet introspection so that we can understand ourselves, we can think about our actions and their repercussions. What are the repercussions of our actions? So, he is not propagating any inactivity. He says, life is what it is about. I want no truck with death, no association with death or inactivity. Right? Then he says, if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives going, he says that we have become so used to thinking about only one thing. And what is that thing? That our life should keep on going. going on and on. So he says we have become very single-minded about keeping our lives going on and on, and for once could do nothing. For once we should be doing what we should be doing? Nothing. Means we must be silent and still. Might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves. He says our continuous rush and activity, in our continuous rush and we are never able to understand ourselves, and we keep on threatening ourselves with death. See, if we are threatening somebody else with death, somebody else also could be threatening us with death. So as a natural corollary, if we threaten somebody with death, we are threatening ourselves with death. Then the poet says, perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. See, there is a season. Out of 4 seasons, we have one season when it appears that everything is dead. And it is so actually. But after some time, from that dead status, life emerges. So, he says that if we are going to keep quiet, keep still for a few moments, it doesn't mean that we will always be quiet and still. We will only be taking a pause to understand ourselves, to make peace, to avoid wars, and to propagate, to create universal brotherhood and mutual understanding among ourselves. The poet doesn't want any war, because he doesn't want to see trucks laden with dead soldiers. He doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to see miseries. And that is why he has brought an imagery of nature, the earth. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Right? Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. The poet says, now I will count up to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you keep quiet and I will go. The poet says I will go. So, the main theme of this poem is within a very few words phrases. We have already discussed calm reflection. That way we reflect, we give some serious thought about something. Quiet introspection, we deeply and seriously think about our own actions, our own beliefs, our own thoughts, and then it helps us in creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings, among ourselves, which finally leads to universal brotherhood. So when universal brotherhood there will be very few chances of war. Most of the time it will be peace. And he recommends us to be not always be rushing, taking some breaks, being a little bit silent for a few moments and being still for a few moments, because he has seen most of the time people have raised their hands, they have waged wars, they have not brought peace. So this is the crux of this poem. It is a peace poem, it is an anti-war poem. I hope you are able to understand the poem in totality. For more, please do visit my website. Okay? Thank you very much.